All right, we are going to move on to our next singer, mezzo-soprano, Eugenia Forteza. Are you here with us, Eugenia?
I'm here.
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you talk us through your tech on your side?
Yes, so I have my laptop. I have a blue snowball microphone. I'm using an Ethernet cable.
Okay.
I have pre-recorded tracks and I have a little speaker.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, please announce your first piece and we'll get started.
I'm going to start with Va laisse couler mes larmes from Werther.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you, Eugenia. Can you tell us what the rest of the repertoire list is?
Yes, I have Polina from Picadam. I have O Pálida from Amico Fritz. I have Ser Romeo from I Capuletti and A Montecchi. And I have Las Carceleras from Las Hijas del Cebedeo.
Okay, let's go to Kathy for this one.
Whatever the last thing she said, I would love to hear. I don't know
Yes.
what, I would love to hear that.
The Spanish language, yes, absolutely. Eugenia, can you pick a place in the middle somewhere, or maybe 2/3 of the way through for us?
It has 2 verses, so I'll do the second.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so do whichever verse you feel more comfortable with. That'll be great. Thank you.
Okay, so 1 second.
No problem. Take your time.
No me muero de
porque tiene unos ojillos que me miran entornados, muy gachones y muy pillos, muy pillos, muy pillos, que me miran entornados, muy gachones y muy pillos, porque tiene unos ojillos que me miran entornados, muy gachones y muy pillos, muy pillos, muy pillos. Y me dicen, ay, Lucero, que por esa personita me derrito, yo me muero, me muero, me muero. Que por esa personita me derrito, yo me muero. Y me dicen, ay, Lucero, que por esa personita me derrito, yo me muero, me muero, me muero. Me derrito, yo me muero. Caprichosa yo nací, lo quiero solamente, solamente para mí, ay. Solamente para mí, ay. Que quitarme mis amores, lo mismo que quitarle las hojitas a una flor, ay. Las hojitas una flor, ay. Las hojitas una flor. Ay. Las hojitas una flor.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. That was great. Super fun. Kathy, right over to you.
Well, Jen and I danced through that number, so
Yeah, we did.
And I had a little dance thing going on, which may be my second career if the pandemic keeps up. Beautiful job, particularly with the second aria. I love that for you. For me, the Valle Sicoulé Melam is so difficult to extract from the opera. But that being said, I saw so many colors in your second piece that I would love to see in that aria. You know, changing the inflection when you speak to Sophie, when you speak to your sister, you know, just a few more colors in that, not just, I'm so sad, you know, and that's kind of what comes across. So work on that. Also, I'm sure you've heard it from all the others, make sure you're in the center of the shot and there's not very much space above your head. But that's all I have to say. And I love the Spanish piece for you. Maybe you can start with it because we all seem to love it.
I loved it too. It was great. Okay, let's go to Ana.
Muchísimas gracias por español. Muy bonito te queda. So I love everything. I want to give you, I hear your voice. Listen, I hear your voice and I hear Anne Falcon. I hear French, high French, Fricka von Stade French. So not Werther, but more like L'Or Espagnol, more L'Enfant, more Cherubin. Those are the kind of things that I hear in your voice. Your voice tends to sit a little higher, but it has that sweetness to it as a mezzo. More than the heavy Pauline, I hear the high Falcon stuff. That said, the Spanish, you have all the flavor and you have all the text. You got to think of this aria like Dorabella. That is not like this, but it has to be like this. Like every single one of those phrases, you have to think of them like a big stroke, not like little phrases. Right now it feels very choppy, but you can fix that because you have to fight against it. You have to fight against that instinct of big phrases to take it from point A to point B. But I really recommend you to start with it or have it very present. The more native language repertoire you have, the better it will be for you marketing wise, okay?
Wonderful, thank you, Anna. How about Carrie-Ann?
Thank you very much. What I love is that you clearly have a joy in singing. And that came across very clearly to me and I really enjoyed that. I just would like you to think about the fact when you sing Charlotte, for example, or any aria, that this is the first time that that character is saying those words. You've sung the aria a million times, but that character is creating on the spot. So that means that you need to be aware of the ending of your phrases and the beginning of the new phrase so that we actually see the thought journey. And that is not only for Charlotte, but also for the Spanish piece, because you seem like an animated, lovely person. So you put yourself in the position of the character and create in that way.
Wonderful.
That would be my advice.
That's great. Thank you so much. Okay, and Luca.
Hola, querida, ¿cómo estás? I have two observations. The first one is for the fast part in Spanish, because it's your language, and I do this in Italian. I over-articulate, I over-pronounce, and so my jaw becomes tired. The secret is stay open and relax, and everything is in the front, so that when you get to the final high notes, you don't have this sense, which happens to me every time, like, I don't know where to squeeze anymore. And I have to say, I agree with the fact that maybe Charlotte is not your best piece, but work on it. By yourself, and I tell you why. There are first of all, I quote a colleague that says, "You don't know that you cannot sing or sing a role until you sing it." So you just have to do it, and then you say, "It's for me. It's not for me." But the thing is this: we have, when you are not born like in, with a natural, you say a round sound, and you have to try to understand over, as an exercise, make it more like everything round and spacious, and then find the best balance between the roundness and the placement. And I would suggest that you keep working on it, because unless you practice with your breath and your technique, you will never be able to expand it. And so maybe it's not ready for an audition, but keep singing it, because there is going to be at a certain point in 5 years or 6 months that it clicks, and and it's all the work that you have done. Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Besos.
Thank you. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Eugenia. I have a question for you. Do you have an English that you are working on or thinking about putting into the audition package?
Yeah, I actually do a lot of new music. I work with a composer called Felix Gerard, so I have a lot of his repertoire. I don't have it here right now.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering, because I love this. I agree with my colleagues here. I love the Spanish in your voice, and I love how you emoted it and you made it fun and fresh and vibrant like you are, right? So I'm wondering if there is an English language piece that could also go into the package, since it again would be a native language for you, and you could emote and show us the personality that you have, because you're so fresh and vibrant and fun, and what Carrie-Ann said is true. You show this love for singing and for music making and for all of this, and I want to see that all the time. Yeah. And I'm also wondering if there's a personality piece in another language, maybe something, a character that's funny and fresh, maybe like Orlovsky or something, that would pull out some of that fabulous personality that you have, because you're so fantastic. And I just love the joy that the Spanish brought to you. So I'd like more of that in your package. Does that make sense? I love it. It's really great, Eugenia. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our tenor for the afternoon, Mr. Luazi Hlati. Luazi, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. My name is Luazi Hlati, and today I'm using my iPad, and I'm using the Shure MV88.
Great, wonderful. And you're in a space which looks fantastic.
I'm with the whole. Then yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, let us know what you'd like to start with.
Today I'm going to start with Mapari Tutu Amor from Marta.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sguardo vaghi quell'angelica beltà, scorda ancor dall'amor, cancellarsi non potrà, il pensiero di poter palpitar con lei d'amor, può subire il martir che m'affanna, strazia al cor, e strazia al cor, ma pari tutto amor, il mio sguardo l'incontrò, bella sì che il mio cor ansioso a lei volò. Marta, Marta, tu sparisti, e il mio cuore cor tuo n'ador. Tu la pace mi ravisti, di dolori morirò, di dolor morror, sì morrò.
Great, Lazi. Thank you so much. Can you tell us what else is on your repertoire list today?
I have Amor di Vita. I have Dein ist mein ganzes Herz. I have Recondita Armonia. And I have Pourquoi me réveiller.
All right, let us go to Luca.
All four. No, I wanted to hear all.
You want to hear all of them?
No, I have to be honest. I would like to hear Amor ti Vieta, but I think I would like to hear Recondita Armonia.
Great. Yes, great. Thank you.
Recondita armonia di bellezze diverse, e bruna floria, l'ardente amante mia. L'arte nel suo mistero, le diverse bellezze insieme confonde, ma ne ritrar cos'ei il mio solo pensiero, il mio solo pensiero sei tu.
Bravo, tenore. Thank you so much. Luazi, do you have a live pianist there with you today?
Yes, I have a live pianist here.
Oh, can you tell us who it is so we can give them congratulations?
Mr. Brian.
Brian, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you. Okay, let's go right over to Luca for some feedback.
Great material, great material. I love how your voice opens up on the top. It's really impressive. A couple of suggestions for me. The middle register, I heard some notes not completely in tune. So I think you know, the voice is like you find where is your strength, and then you try to take your strength to all the register. So your strength is your top, right? And now you have to take that in the middle voice. And I quote Carlo Bergonzi, who said, the middle voice is so important because you sing 80% there. And at the moment, I feel like this sense of openness in your throat and letting go that you have on the top, you are not missing. You're missing in the middle. And I wanted to tell you that for me, you need to construct the middle a little bit more, because I have a feeling like you are not thinking very much about the middle. And you have to find a way so that everything sounds in the same place, with the same roundness, in the same position. Instead of, when you finish a phrase, instead of going up and then you let it go and then the intonation disappears. And you have to work so that it's so well placed that then becomes second nature and you don't have to think about it. That's my suggestion to you. And two other things which I am older than you. Repertoire, great voice. I don't think you need to be singing Tosca and Fedora at this time of your career. You know, you can, you say, take advantage of the fact that you are young, that the voice is young, sing young roles. There is going to be so much time for you to go to this heavy repertoire. And because there are, good tenors are so few, so every time there is one with a beautiful voice, I'm like, please take care of your instrument, okay?
Be safe, yeah.
Exactly. Bravo,
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Luca, bravo, bravo. Let's go to Anna.
Bravo, that was fantastic. I'm going to echo Luca on the repertoire. I think that you remind me of Kaleha when he was young. I mean, the voice opens up in the top. And if you research Kaleha, he started doing, and I can see in your resume that you are doing Edgardo and Ferrando, and you're doing the stuff that you should be doing, but your audition package shows a different type of singing. Which says, you know, you are what you get hired to do, and people out there are going to see and hear how you should serve better the art form. And right now you're thinking, okay, but my voice does this and I can sing it. I thought La Mia Letizia would be a beautiful aria for you. I think, of course, Edgardo. I think the Duke is a beautiful role for you because it sits high. I mean, it has a lot of lyricism, but it sits high. I will stay away from the Verismo and the Puccini's, for a little bit. Use what you can, learn it, practice, but audition with things that you're going to be perfect for. I think that's, but you have an amazing instrument. Your squeal is fantastic. And I got to tell you, your camera needs to be a little lower so we can see all of you, since we have so much beautiful space. It was very high. But this makes a big difference. The space, the piano, all of that makes a big difference. I know not many singers can afford to do something like this, but it does changes the way the sound vibrates around the space.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anna. Okay, Carrie-Ann, how about over to you?
Hello, Ozzy. You know what I love about you is, first of all, you have a beautiful voice. There's no question about that. But you have such an honesty in your singing. And that comes across immediately to us right from the moment that you open your mouth. So really, I loved that. The main thing I wanted to talk with you about also was repertoire. Because as Luca said, we need every tenor that we can get in this world, and you need to be singing for a long time. So please guard that precious instrument. There'll be time for you to sing Tosca and Fedora. I wanted to ask you, have you ever made any forays into pure bel canto? repertoire?
No.
Is that because you don't like it?
I do like it. It's just that I didn't get a chance, a chance to go through it. You know, a person that will take me through the bel canto. You know, but yeah, I didn't really do it.
Does your voice move?
Yeah, it does move.
Yes.
Sometimes it does move. Sometimes it becomes a little bit heavy, but it does move.
Why don't you have a look at Sonambula?
Sonambula. Okay, I'll look
Yes.
at that.
And see how that feels. Look at the repertoire that Camarena sings right now. Or maybe even something like Pearl Fishers might feel good for you. But yeah.
Nemorino.
Yeah, Nemorino is perfect. Nemorino is absolutely perfect. And you would be so great because of that honesty that you have on stage. You would be the most adorable Nemorino.
Thank you. I'll work on that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Kathy.
Well, I agree with all my brilliant colleagues. Everything everyone else said is true. You make me nervous a little bit in your approach to your top. Not that I don't think you're going to make it, but I always felt like in both arias, you could just take time before the high note phrases. You know, particularly at the end of Marta, and that's kind of a wicked B flat. It's not very easily approached in the way he wrote it. But I felt like if you just taken a moment longer to really release and do the mantra of your wonderful technique, that you would have made an easier high note. And the same with Tosca, when you get to the coda, nel ritrarco stai, you get right off the ends of those phrases. Il mio solo pensiero, get right off the ends. So you really have all this great oomph to sing Tosca sei tu. But if you hold over every last note at the end of phrases, you'll tire and you'll make us think, wow, he should sing lighter repertoire, which I do think he should for right now, sing lighter repertoire. But just one technical thing, you can make it sound a little easier for yourself, and you'll make the top sound a little more like your ta-da, here it is. Make us wait for it a little bit, you know? Go listen to every Franco Corelli record. Listen to these tenors that really made us wait for these great glory notes, and they sang them and you just went, ooh, ah, because you have that. You have a gorgeous, gorgeous voice. Bravo.
Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, Luazi, you're amazing. We love you. Luazi is one of our young artists at Fort Worth last season, and the voice has grown just immensely. If I can give you one thing, Luazi, get back in that practice room and get that larynx back down through that middle voice, because everyone is right. The top is blooming incredibly and the middle got back tight again. So get that larynx down so that you really get that morbidezza through the middle voice and really get the cricothyroids to anchor the bass down so that it just stays one open column for you all the way up and all the way down. And I love the suggestion of the Duke for you. I think that's amazing. I would love to hear the Lucia. That would be incredible, because those things, they do get a little heavier as the roll goes along, but they're not like humongous Puccini orchestra right from the get-go. Do you know what I mean? So maybe Nemorino, Duca, Lucia, and then maybe also Tosca, like one heavier one that tells everybody, hey, in 5 years, I'm going to go here. But not all of them so heavy, because you are young and we want to protect that gorgeous instrument. Yeah?
Yeah.
Luazi, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to your pianist there. It looks fantastic. We heart you at Fort Worth Opera. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move on to our soprano, next singer, Gina Hanslick. Are you here, Gina?
Hello, I'm here.
There she is. Hi, Gina. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Great. Can you talk us through your tech over there?
Yes, I'm using a blue Snowball microphone connected to my MacBook Air, and I'm on Wi-Fi.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Announce your first piece and we will get started.
I'd like to start with Robert Toi que j'aime from Robert Le Diable by Meyerbeer.
Wonderful. What an aria. Thank you so much. Can you tell us what the rest of the list is?
Yes, I've brought Archuleta by Mozart. I've brought Spargi d'Amaro from Lucia. I've brought Cinnamon Limbs by Craig Galbraith. And I've also brought Au Beau Pays, also by Meyerbeer.
Wonderful. Let's go to Anna for this one.
What was the third piece you mentioned? You said in English?
Yes, it's called Cinnamon Limbs. It's by a Canadian composer named Craig Galbraith.
I don't know it. Interesting. I'd like to hear Archuleta, please. I mean, we're gonna do part of it, Jennifer?
Yes, either the first half or the second half, whichever you choose.
Okay, great.
Yes,
We'll
you
do
pick
the
one.
second half.
Yeah.
Give me just a second.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to go right to you, Anna.
Very good. I'm sorry for the truck and the outside. I love these pieces. Both of them are a great fit for you. I love your setup. I love your work of the camera. I feel like you were singing to me, which is exactly what you need to do. You got it down. You're gorgeous. The arias are perfect. I love your selections. I think they're a good fit. I'm gonna be just very, very picky with some things. Your neck tends to lift up a little bit, creating a little tension right in the back. If that will relax a little bit and you think about the sound going this way and sort of going this way instead of going this way. I mean, it's very bright and very shimmery. I'm not a voice teacher, but I know what I'm hearing, and it needs a little bit more of this space to be able to pull that sound back and just get that line and dark and that colorful middle that I know you have. but sometimes it feels like you're singing forward all the time without that extra space. Maybe one of you voice teachers can actually translate that into technical language.
Pick up what you're laying down. I've definitely we're working.
Yeah, sometimes we carry like neck tension right here that doesn't allow us to sort of make that shift. But I think it's just, you're so good. Your phrasing is so beautiful. The repertoire is so perfect. Your register is so gorgeous. I just think that it needs that more connection to get those colors in.
Okay, thank you.
Brava. Thank you, Anna. How about Carrie-Ann?
Hi, Gina. I'm happy to see a fellow Canadian.
Well, actually, I'm American, but I went to McGill, so.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take you anyway. So listen, I think the Robert aria was gorgeous, and I loved your phrasing. I loved the way I want to hear you sing that live, where you can do all of the things that you wanted to do without being constricted by the recording. But I think you handled it really, really well. I want to hear you sing Lucia. I think that you would be an absolutely gorgeous Lucia.
Thank you.
Constanza, I wonder if you should have started at the beginning, because you had some tuning problems. That are those normal for you? That,
No.
yeah. See, I think you can't start in the middle of Constanza unless you know for sure that you're going to be in tune, which unfortunately it wasn't this time today. But I think the choice is great, but maybe next time start at the beginning.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Kathy?
Sorry, can you hear me? I'm muted now.
There she is.
There I am. You know, I agree with everybody. I'd love to hear Lucia in your voice. I think it's more varied as well, because you have such a beautiful, beautiful top register, and that's not to take away from the other part, but I would really, there's so few excellent voices for Lucia now. I would love to hear you just be up there in the cash register. So keep that in mind when you audition, because very, very few ladies like to sing that role. And I mean, you just sail through those D's in Constanza like it's nothing, you know? So that's a part of your voice. Being a soprano, you have to find kind of your special niche these days. And I really think that's yours. So I would just love Lucia and sing Lucia and work on the mad scene and work on all of it, because it could be a real signature for you. And it never hurts to sing anything bel canto you learn. So that's my 2 cents.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, over to Luca.
Hi, wonderful job. I am not a voice teacher, and I know very little about technique. My opinion is that I find that your voice sits very high. So the top of your voice, as for me, is perfect. You sing vertical, is elongated, is perfect. You need to translate that nice sense of that height in the middle of your voice. Okay. I find that you get slightly horizontal and not vertical enough. And in the middle, yes. The top, you know, it's fantastic. You just relax. The tongue is in the perfect place. It comes out perfectly. In the middle, you know, there is, because you have such a high voice, you might think you need to make your middle bigger. Yeah. Forget about it. Just stay in your zone, vertical. For me, you know, you're a soprano. For me, the sound is always like this, and rarely does that like this. For Costanza, the only suggestion I would like to give you is, like, when there is the coloratura, you were reaching for it with the body. Try to put your feet down and ground yourself, because especially for that kind of high region, and when you have coloratura, we think, guilty, that if you do this, people, you know, instead, most of the time when it really works is just stay grounded and work your breath and just focus like a laser on the support, and you see it's going to be much easier than trying to look for it. Right. I tell you this because I am I am guilty of that every single time. So, but really, congratulations. It's impressive, really.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Gina, you're amazing. We love you.
Thanks, Jim.
Your sister's getting married now, so go walk down the aisle. Gina's having a wedding at her house today and had her audition before the wedding started. So
And drink gin and tonic.
They were like, oh yeah, we'll just push the wedding back 15 minutes. I was like,
yes, thank you, family. All right, go get some champagne. Bravissima, fantastic job, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. Okay, we are going to move on to our next singer. We have soprano Sabina Balsamo with us. Are you here, sweetie?
I am. Hi.
There she is. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What is this tech you have going on? It looks fantastic. The camera looks incredible.
Thank you. I have a Sony camera and a Zoom H6 with an external condenser pair.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, let us know your first piece and we will get started.
Sarah and I know you can't see her, we would like to start out with Mi chiamano Mimi from La Boheme.
Wonderful. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Si, mi chiamano in casa fuori.
Brava. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tell us what the rest of the repertoire list is today.
So I have Stridano lassù from Pagliacci, the embroidery aria from Peter Grimes, Sempre libera from Traviata, and Il bel sogno di Doretta from La Rondine.
Wonderful. How about Carrie-Ann? Let's go over to you for this choice.
Can we hear the second part of Sempre Libera, please?
Sure.
Great.
From like Adilettis. Oh, yeah. Like halfway through the.
Yeah, like halfway through.
Okay.
Thank you. Maybe from the second, somewhere in there, somewhere.
Okay.
It ends into the second time of Sempre libera Reggio.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. You want me to start from chronology then? Yes. All right.
Oh, that's great. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Bravissima, Sabina. Amazing, amazing, amazing job. I just saw in the chat, somebody give her all the jobs. Yes, somebody give her all the jobs. Brava, brava. Carrie-Ann, over to you.
Great. Let me just switch to gallery view. Sabina, right? That's the way to say it. Yes. Hi. You know what I love about you is your intensity.
Thank you.
You are full on going for it all the time, and I appreciate that a lot. There was a lot of sound distortion that made me, and it's a shame because I think I didn't really get to hear the true quality of how beautiful your voice is. So I wondered, wow, does she have a voice the size of Birgit Nielsen and the mic can't handle it? Because that's a little bit the impression that I got. So you might want to sort that out. I just want to take a second to talk to you about Mimi, because you're so sure of what you want to do with the character. And I think about it a little bit differently. For me, it's still early in the opera. She's still young. And it needs to be really a little bit more innocent, a little bit faster, a little bit more creative. It got a little bit heavy And you know, there's this great acting teacher from New York years ago, Frank Corsaro, who said the greatest thing. He said, "I don't want to see that Mimi is walking around all the time with a bag of snow over her head." And so I think that's probably a good thing to think, that you need a little bit more direction and a little bit more arc in the aria. It shouldn't open up really until you get to Il primo sole è mio.
Okay.
And just quickly about the Traviata, you can sing that like nobody's business. Do it, but please don't slow down where you did in the middle. At De Vola, as a conductor, that made me just go, oh! Okay. Okay, but great job.
Thank you.
Brava. Thank you, Carrie-Ann. Okay, how about to Kathy?
Yes.
Oh. Hold on 1 second, Kathy. You're muted. 1 second. There you go.
Here I am.
There you go.
Everything that Carrie-Ann said, but also, Sabina, you have to sing Mi chiamano Mimi in 4. A couple of bars didn't have 4 beats, like Ma il mio nome Lucia. Stay in 4. You get excited, which is great. I want to see you get more excited. You're young and beautiful, and we need the first date quality of this, you know? Because Rodolfo says, hey, tell me a little bit about you. And you go, okay, I will. You know, it needs that. It needs the youth, because you're not singing Donde Lieta. You're not dying. It's the first act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to see fun, because you have the voice for this. But, you know, it's a little bit like Gypsy Rose Lee. You know, she showed one glove and she took that off. She didn't just come and strip naked on the first phrase. So keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You have this big, glorious voice. And when you get to Ma Quando Vien Lo Gelo, then sing. Because everybody picks up their instruments and starts a wail. But until then, be young, be conversational with Rodolfo. This is the piece that he falls in love with you, you know? But you still have to count in 4. And don't slow down where Carrie-Ann said, and don't slow down at the end. I don't mind that you don't do the E flat and Traviata. No one cares, believe me, they don't. But you don't, because you're just going and you have this great momentum, just pensier and drive it to the end. Just go on that last A flat.
Okay. Yeah.
But beautiful, you have everything. Just work a little bit on staying in 4 in Mimi. Don't put 3.5 beats in a measure. Make sure you're always in 4. And for me, I'm old fashioned. I want you to portamento where they are and not portamento where they are not. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
I mean, do the ones that are there and don't do a million, because then, you know, I had a piano teacher once and he said, don't gag and heave. You know, so don't gag and heave in this, you know, just because Puccini gives us the best roadmap. We can't make Bohème more of a masterpiece. He did it, you know, so that's my only advice to you. And thank you. And bravo.
Bravo. Thank you, Kathy. Carrie-Ann gave you a big thumbs up on the portamentos comment. So you got 2 checks on that one. Okay, let's go over to Luca.
I call you Sabina because it sounds Italian, so I'm going to call you Sabina. Wonderful job. I have 2 observations. One is technical. Sometimes when you sing, you tend to have the neck and the head slightly on the side, and just is something that maybe it's just because it's, you know, whatever. Just make sure that it doesn't become a bad habit, because we pick up bad habits very fast, and to get rid of them it takes months. So just make sure that every time that the fact that you want to act doesn't make you all of a sudden sing something like this, and you don't, you know, pay attention that is always a straight line. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about, for me and Mimi, it's a piece that I mean, Bohème is a piece that I love, and I had the fortune to see Mirella Freni sing this in 1995. She was 60. And she walked out and she looked 21. And I tell you, it was so amazing how simple, and there was none of this death and none of this heaviness. It's Paris. She is living her life, and this death comes completely unexpected. And the only thing that gives us, to me, a premonition of what's going to happen is like, Ma in cielo, Ma quando vien lo sgelo. That's a little bit, but until then, it's a girl who, you know, who is falling in love with a guy and just enjoy it. I really, congratulations, because I can tell that you are committed to this and you are wanted to tell a story, which is what our job is. We have to tell a story, and we use our instrument as a tool to tell a story, to transfer emotion and feelings. Congratulations.
Absolutely,
Sabina.
She's a wonderful, beautiful storyteller. I completely agree. Sabina, in the chat, they would like for you to tell again what kind of camera you're using, because it really does look awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's a Sony A6100.
Fabulous. Is it like a high def camera?
I don't know.
Okay, somebody asked right up in here if it was DSLR, something like that.
It's a DSLR. Yeah.
DSLR. Okay, great. It looks amazing. Savina, thank you. You sang gorgeously. Always such a humongous pleasure to see you, watch you, and take in what you're telling us emotionally, because you always give so much of the character and so much of the story, and with your beautiful voice combined, it's a magical package. So thank you very, very much. All right, we are going to move on to our second baritone of the day, Prosper Macania. Are you here, Prosper? Prosper. I hear him.
I am.
Prosper. Oh, there he is. Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you so much. Can you talk us through your tech and what you're using today?
I got my MacBook. I'm on Wi-Fi, and I got an external microphone. And
okay.
Webcam.
Oh, are you in the same place that Loasi was in? Looks good. Great, fabulous. Okay, let us know what the first piece is, and we will get started.
The first piece is Si può from Leoncavallo Sbagliato.
Wonderful, thank you.
All right.
Oh, and who's your pianist today?
My pianist is Mr. Jason Smith.
Hi, Jason. Thank you so much for being with us today.
All right.
Great, thank you.
Masterclass. Okay, very good. So just I was wondering, you're gonna be doing a call?
Yes.
Thank you.
Si può, signori, scusatemi, se da sol mi presento, io sono il prologo, poiché mette l'autore, in parte vuol riprendere le vecchie usanze, e a voi di nuovo inviami. Ma non per dirvi come pria, le lacrime che noi versiam son false, e gli spasmi e dei nostri martiri, non allarmatevi. No, l'autore han cercato invece fingervi uno squarcio di vita, e via per massima sol che l'artista è un uomo, che per uomini scriverei deve, ed al vero ispirava sì. Un nido di memorie in fondo all'anima cantava un giorno, ed ei con vere lacrime scrisse, e singhiazzi vano. Dunque, vedrete amare, siccome s'amano gli esseri umani, vedrete dell'olio i tristi frutti, per dolor gli spasimi, or le rabbie andrete e le salciniche. Vi dissi, ora ascoltate come li ascolto. Andiamo e incominciate.
Great, thank you, Prosper. Can you tell us what the rest of the repertoire list is today?
The rest of my repertoire is Aprite un poco gli occhi from le nozze. O du mein Holde Abstand from Tannhäuser, Cortigiani del Razza, Donata from Rigoletto, and Votre toast je peux le rendre from Carmen.
Okay, let's go over to Luca for this one.
I would like to hear Mozart. Maybe just without recitativo, just aprite un po' quegli occhi or whatever.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you, Prosper.
The aria. Just the aria. Aprite un po' gli occhi, uomini incauti e sciocchi, guardate queste femmine, guardate cosa son. Guardate cosa son, guardate, guardate cosa son. Queste chiamate dall'ingannati sensi, a cui tribota incensi la debole ragion, la debole ragion, la debole ragion. Son sirene che incantano per farci penar, sirene che cantano per farci avvogar, civette che alletano per trarci il fiume, comete che brillano per toglierci il lume. Son rose spinose, son folli vezzose, son orse benigne, colombe maligne, maestre di inganni, amiche d'affanni, e fingono mettono amore. Non sento in pietà, non sento in pietà, no, 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 no. Il resto non dico, già ognuno lo sa. Aprite un po' gli occhi, uomini incauti e sciocchi, guardate queste femmine, guardate cosa son, cosa son, cosa son. Son streghe che incantano, il resto non dico, sirene che cantano, il resto non dico, civette che alletano, il resto non dico, comete che brillano, il resto non dico. Son rose spinose, son fogli vezzose, son orse benigne, colombe maligne, maestre di inganni, amiche d'affanni che fingono mettono amore. Non sento in pietà, non sento in pietà, no, 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 no. Il resto non dico,
già ognuno lo sa. Già ognuno lo sa. Già ognuno lo sa. Già ognuno lo sa.
Great, Prosper. Thank you so much. Let us go right over to Luca.
Hi, Prosper. Wonderful. I was a little bit confused because I saw that you did Banco in Macbeth.
Yes.
Did you sing the whole role?
Yes, I did.
Oh wow! Because I mean, you don't sound to me at all like a bass for Banco. So I mean, you're a baritone. No, I mean, absolutely no question there. If I can give you a suggestion, because I'm older than you, it's hard for me to say this. So don't. You have an incredible material. Don't hit it. I feel like you are, instead of flowing on top of it, you are hitting it like this. And you're 30. I don't know. I you know. It will take longer than a minute. You're 30 years old. You have all the notes of a baritone. I would not go in a repertoire like Pagliacci, because in Pagliacci, for me, you can get all the bad habits. I would suggest you count. I would suggest you do Giovanni. Maybe if you want to try Guglielmo, especially because it's a kind of singing that forces you to a certain kind of discipline. Find something, maybe Valentin, maybe something that is going to give you a bit more discipline in how you present your voice to the audience. Because the problem with the verismo, that you, a lot of time when you are at the beginning, you tend to go, and you know, you're going to pay for this. Because you're way too young for that kind of repertoire. So if I really a suggestion, be protective of your own instrument and learn how to you know, caress it and protect it and offer it with more kindness than singing like you are hitting on something. So, sorry, it just, I can't, you know, as soon as I hear a young baritone that, you know, gets pushed into their repertoire, I get very defensive, because I think you are going to have all the time on the world to do that. So just make mistake on a Mozart, because it's not going to kill you. While Pagliacci, if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to definitely kill you. And the last thing, very quickly, when you sing, you need to have a plan for your breath, because you took a couple of breaths in between the word. So make sure that you have a plan, and a plan A and a plan B in case you cannot do the long phrase, because it's not ideal to break up a word because you need to breathe in between. Okay?
Wonderful.
But great, take care of your material. I beg you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you. Let's go to Anna.
Wow, it's hard to follow Luca. I mean, he understands the baritone voice, and I agree. I think that you are a young cavalier baritone. That's what you are. That means that you have a full sound, high notes, and it's very easy to lean into the more dramatic repertoire when you have this sound at this age. That said, there's repertoire that I consider to be non-offensive. Not that your repertoire is offensive, but this repertoire, I'm going to tell you, there's two areas that I would love for you to look at. One of them being Promesse de mon avenir from Le Roi de l'Or. It's a beautiful lyric aria. It's short, it's French. It doesn't bang the voice. It's not too high, too low, but it shows full, beautiful lyricism. The other one is Zaza Piccola Zingara. It's a beautiful aria as well. Has a beautiful high. You like high notes? That one has a big, juicy one as well, but it's not as long as Tonio. It doesn't carry as much stigma as a dramatic people singing. I mean, people that sing Tonio sing Rigoletto, sing Wagner. They sing all this big repertoire. Sing something that has sort of the same feel to it, like Zaza, but doesn't have the the expectation that Tonya has. Just my 2 cents there.
Wonderful, Anna. That's great suggestions. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Kathy, over to you.
Anna said exactly what I was going to say to you, Prosper, the same thing. Zaza is a great aria. It's short. I mean, Si può for the baritone and for us is all about al pari di voi, you know, and if you don't do your breathing exactly the way you want to and everything's not working for you perfectly, it's less than. And, you know, you made it, which is great. You made a nice A flat, but you don't want to live like that. You want to be able to interpret the whole 7 pages before that and really have fun. Because when you sang the Mozart, I went, he's an actor. He's an artist. You know, I worried about you before Si può. And, you know, you didn't play because Si può is only like, hello, Si può, may I? You know, but you were already, when you started, you were already singing, you know, Cortigiani. It was so heavy, you know, because you want to make this impression as a dramatic baritone. You're just not there yet. You know, none of us are saying, you know, go take your Rigoletto score and throw it in the garbage. But we are saying, you know, piano, piano, take your time with this and go slowly into the big repertoire. You'll sing it for the rest of your life. So that's all.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, Carrie-Ann, over to you.
I'm just going to echo the statements of my colleagues and say that, you know, when you were singing Si può, I thought, yeah, he's really, really focused on the singing of this. And so he can't really be free. And then you were way more free in the Mozart. So then we got to see the spicy actor that you are. So guard this beautiful instrument that you have. It's the only one that you have. And I just want to throw a little like picky thing in just for your development. Practice speaking the names of your pieces when you're going to announce them.
All right.
Because you got a little bit tripped up with the Tannhäuser. And so you just have to be sure that no matter how nervous you are, that you can knock those out, no problem.
That's fabulous.
But thank you for singing for us today.
Thank you, Carrie-Ann. Thank you, Prosper, so much. Prosper, I have a question for you. Where's the Billy Bud? Because when you did that for me in Fort Worth, it was so spectacular. And I don't have any English on here.
Yeah, I felt like it's not ready yet, but I'm still working on it.
Okay, please continue to work on it. Prosper is another one of our young artists from Fort Worth from last season, and the Billy Bud was so special when you sang that for me. I also would love for you to explore the newer things like the Flight and the Moby Dick and some of that other stuff, because you are such an adept actor and you really do tell such a beautiful story. And those pieces will allow you to sing with your full voice without such a humongous orchestration as Si può and Cortegiani would give you at this point in your career. And you'd be able to really sing into them without having to fight over, you know, all of that sound. And you can keep the voice then very, very fresh and young since you are only 29 years old. But I remember that Billy Bud, and I remember being very touched by it and really loving what it did for your voice. So pull that back out, because I think it would be a wonderful addition to the list.
Okay.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you so much for being with us today. You're fabulous as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to move on to our next singer. To left, Miss Brenna Markey, soprano. Are you with us, Brenna?
Hello, hello.
Hi, Brenna. How are you?
I am doing well. I am so happy to be here.
Thank you for being with us. Can you talk us through your tech?
Yes, I have a few items. I have a halo light. I also have my iPad as my main source for the Zoom meeting. I have an Audio-Technica external microphone, and I have a interface, which is a Focusrite interface.
Okay. Model. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. Please announce your first piece and we'll get started.
Fabulous. Hello, everyone. My name is Brenna Markey. I'm going to start with Tutto piccolo Dio from Madama Butterfly.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Brenna. Can you tell us what the rest of the repertoire list is? Oh, her headphones. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Can you tell us what the repertoire list is, the rest of the repertoire list is?
Yes, I have Violetta's Forteza Lui and Sempre Libera. I have The Trees on the Mountains from Susanna. I have Depuis le Jour from Louise. And I also have Signore Ascolta from Turandot.
Wonderful. Let's go to Anna for this one. Anna? Oh, there she is.
Did you say the Pour le jour?
She did.
Okay, let's do that. Can we do the whole thing or half? Can we do a section?
Yeah, her first one was short. We can do the whole thing.
All right. Great.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Je me suis
Brava. Thank you so much, Brenna. Okay, let's go right over to Anna for some feedback.
That was fantastic. I mean, you are such a giving artist. Let me put you in so I can see you because I can't see you here. You're such a giving artist. You're so passionate. You give so much. I think these arias are really beautiful fits for your voice. I mean, Butterfly is on the heavier side. I see why you choose it because you obviously love it. In your voice, I would rather hear another Puccini, maybe Rondine, even Mimi, you know, something that just screams youth. And Butterfly, what the character is young, we all have this sort of heavy expectation of the role because it's so long and so demanding. And by this point, it's just, she's so taxed. You know, I see why you love it, but I would sort of steer yourself towards a different kind of verismo. You know, you could be beautiful as Suzelle in, what's it called? Suzelle in, Kathy, help me.
L'Amico Fritz.
Yes. That I love the arias because they're not too high, too low, but they're beautiful verismo pieces for young singers, you know. I mean, sometimes in competitions, and at the Prix de Jour, it's a great aria for you. I mean, my advice to you with the Prix de Jour or any aria that you do in this medium is really play a lot with the colors. It feels right now that everything is sort of one volume. And I want to hear a little bit more push and pull in volume and in coloring, and just take risks. Think of the medium being very intimate. So don't be afraid to go there and be very, very small and very tender, and then let things bloom. Just play a lot with it.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Okay, over to Kathy.
Beautiful job, Brenna. You have a gorgeous voice. I mean, if you're going to sing 222, and I know it's very easy for you vocally, it's exactly what Anna said. You know, your little baby is rushing out on stage. That's 222. So you, even with the first words, you have to be expressive. You know, you're not screaming at little Dolore. You know, you're saying, my baby, my little God, you know, piccolo Dio. So play with your text, because if you play the death of Butterfly, it's the same with Mimi and Liu. If you play the death, it's the most uninteresting thing. If you play the life of her to the bitter end, then you've got us, you know? Because that more Butterfly, that's when you should just rip our heart out. But before that, if you kind of oversing, if, like I said about Gypsy Rose Lee, you're giving us, you just want to take off one glove and then the other glove. You don't want to just be, wah, you know, exposing yourself with all the volume and decibels and everything you've got. Because for me, you showed a lot more color in Depuis le Jour. I thought, boy, she can float, she can this, she can that, you know? So keep that in mind. And I love what Anna said about doing Suzelle or singing Qu'il bel sogno or one of those arias that it's just, you're young and beautiful. Be young and beautiful for a little while. You have so much time for the other stuff. Believe me, you do. I was young and beautiful once.
You still are, Kathy. You're gorgeous. I love that hair color actually on the blue background. I was going to tell you. It's stunning. All right. Amazing. Carrie-Ann, over to you.
Hi, Brenda. Brenda, I love the color of your voice. I think it's really, it's unique, it's beautiful, it's rich, it's got a lot of possibilities in it. My main advice to you would be really along the lines of what my two fabulous colleagues have already said, is that remember that the aria has to have an arc. So you don't want to come out right at the beginning and throw everything on the ground. It's like you have to hold carrots out in front of us as audience members and bring us along with you on the journey, so that when you say joka, joka at the end, that we should feel broken with you. And in Depuis le Jour, there were way more colors than that. I would encourage you to go 50% further, especially on the intimate side. You've got it. So flaunt it.
Yeah, she does. Absolutely. Thank you, Carrie-Ann. Luca, over to you, hon.
Yeah, I always talk too much. I'm sorry.
No.
Well done, Brenna. Sorry. I have to agree. I think Depuis le Jour is great. You can go even further. And for me, it's such a delicate piece. and is so vulnerable. So I don't think it's ever going to be too delicate or too piano. I am not sure that Butterfly is a good start, to be honest with you. And I just want to tell you a thing that maybe you didn't know. Mirella Freni only recorded Tosca and Butterfly, never sang the role on a stage. And because it's dramatically are so heavy. And I tell you, you are young, you are beautiful. Why? You're gonna have all the time on the world to do this. Don't, you know, I quote a friend of mine was a bass who sang until he was 72. And he said to me, to ever wobble and lose the high notes, there is always time. So enjoy the fact that you are young, explore, in my opinion, a repertoire that is a bit more on the lyrical side, work with your teacher and with your coaches, this repertoire to find your ground. But honestly, you know, I would go a completely different direction than Butterfly at the moment. Also, I have to say on a personal note, that aria kills me. So I'm always, after that, no matter what you sing, I'm so destroyed that I lose a little bit focus. Forgive me. I'm a total opera nerd. So don't listen. Well
Luca,
done.
we love you for it. Thank you, hon. Thank you. Brenna, it's amazing that you could actually do 2-2-2 and not be completely destroyed and then turn around and sing such a beautiful Depuis le jour. I don't know how you did it, but that was incredible. Bravissima. Thank you so much for singing for us today. Really fantastic work. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, we're going to move on to our last singer of the day, mezzo-soprano, Kayla Nanto. Kayla, are you with us? I hear her. There she is. Hi, Kayla. Kayla. Can you hear me, Kayla?
I can hear you, sorry.
There she is.
It was silence for a second. Sorry about that.
Okay, we got you now. How are you doing? Thanks for being with us today.
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Good. What do you have going on there with your tech? What's the tech today?
All right, I've got a Blue Yeti microphone and I've got a ring light. And
okay.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Please announce your first piece and we'll get started.
All right, I'm going to start with Una voce poco fa from Rossini's Il Barbiere di Siviglia.
Wonderful. Brava, Kayla. Thank you so much. Can you tell us what the rest of the repertoire list is today?
Sure. I've also got Va laisser couler mes larmes from Werther. I have Parto from Clemenza di Tito. I have Seguedilla from Carmen. And I have Daybreak from Heggie's 3 Decembers.
Wonderful. Let's go over to Miss Kathy for the final pick of the day.
I don't know the Jake Hagee piece, so I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Great.
Thanks, Kayla.
So long ago
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kayla. I could just listen to that voice all day long. Can we just keep going? Can you sing all of them? Just all of them, please. Okay, let's go to Kathy.
Oh, I agree with Jen. What a gorgeous sound. I don't know if I really hear you in Rossini and Mozart, because for me, you've got such a kind of chocolate sundae voice, you know, that's a big old luxurious throat you have there. So maybe you want to, you know, don't go crazy. I don't mean go sing Omneris, but there's got to be a nice middle ground for you where you sing like, you know, Adalgisa or something that shows this beautiful pouring out sound a little bit more, because it's so gorgeous, your voice. But I don't hear you in, you know, I played one of Joyce DiDonato's first auditions and she sang Una voce poco fa. And you know what? She still sings Una voce poco fa. That was always her voice, you know? She had the voice she has. And I think with you, I hear there's a difference there. There's more throat there that I hear. So you might want to, you know, do some fall cleaning of your arias and start to add something that shows this beautiful fullness of voice. Okay. And in the Heggie piece, I understood about 75% of the words. I knew you did something in the streets of Milan, but I'm not quite sure what you did. So fix that so we know what you did, okay? And brava, beautiful, really beautiful singing.
Thank you, Kathy. Carrie-Ann, over to you.
Kayla, what a beautiful voice you are, and what a beautiful musician you are. Beautiful voice you have, beautiful musician you are. You showed your musicianship in the Rossini exceptionally well. It was clean, it was accurate. What I wanted from you in that was to just loosen the reins a little bit. Take risks. You are such a responsible musician that you could do things that I bet you would think are completely distasteful, and they won't be. Okay. I also wondered, because you have this gorgeous full legato sound, maybe Charlotte might be a better starter for you, because you grabbed me with this Heggie piece, and I was like, zoop. So glad you didn't lose me for 1 second. And in the Rossini, I was like, oh, I wish you would do this, you know, but that never happened in the Heggie. So I saw who you are. And that's the main advice I would say to everybody is you have to identify what you do best. And then that's how you sell yourself. Not what you think you should be, what you do best and what you love the most. And then you're going to have success, because then you're being true to yourself and true to your art. Absolutely. So, but thank you very much. I look forward to hearing more from you and to hearing you live one day, because I bet that's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Carrie-Ann. Carrie-Ann, you should hear the va. It is ridiculous.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
It's
a great starter too. It's a great starter because it's short, and then I hate it when people say that. Yeah, it's a good starter because it's short. But then the truth is, then we might hear a little bit of Rossini after, or a little bit of Sesto after. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'll stop talking now.
No, such great points. Thank you so much, Carrie-Ann. Thank you. How about Luca?
Hi there. Amazing. And I wanted to say something. It was so interesting because when you sang the Rossini, we were all like this. And then when you sang the 3 December, you saw everybody going, oh, wait a second. Listen to this. And I think I want to give you, I mean, I don't have to talk about the beauty of the voice, you know, how great as a musician you are. I just have to give you a practical advice here. When you do an audition, you know, and you might be the 20th, you know, at the end of the evening, you know, it is just go for an aria like this, because they probably heard already 15 barbers, and you know, they already have, you know, and there is so much baggage with this repertoire. And I tell you, the 3 December was like, I never heard it, and I want to hear you sing the whole piece now. And so choose, I'm serious, and this I tell you because it was, for me, it was the same. I was boring. I had 3 aria that I could sing dead. And you know, and go for it. And don't think I'm like, you know, oh, I have to bring one in French or one in German, or like, no. It doesn't matter as long as you show your qualities. And this aria, I swear to you, I think it would be, you need to have a beginning piece that is short, and then you kill them with this aria, honestly. Or if you can choose. Otherwise, start with this aria because it really showcases you in unbelievably well, honestly. I was speechless, really. So,
wonderful.
And more legato, go for the legato. That's your, I think that's your, you know, where you feel more comfortable, and just choose 3 pieces and go for it. That's it. Okay. Amazing. Really, I could see everybody going, oh my God, I'm serious. It was amazing to watch. We were all like this, I'm serious. And so that tells you something, okay?
We did. Thank you, Luca. Wow,
Bravo.
wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, let's finish up the afternoon with Miss Anna.
Very good. I'm going to echo what people are saying. You have a gorgeous instrument. I have a couple of repertoire suggestions for you on the more not standard, but I think you'll be a great Orfeo. I think that if you think about Jimmy Barton singing Orfeo, you think about, you know, this beautiful, luscious color. And there's not a lot of heaviness to it, but you can actually take advantage of what kind of voice you have. I think Ottavia Monteverdi will be beautiful as well. That stuff fits you like a glove. All right, so I'm gonna say that you did sing the Hegi amazingly, but I kept thinking, because I know the piece, that Maddie is an older lady with grown-up children. So while you are in this stage of your life, like you're auditioning for young artist programs and things like that, this is a great piece to grab them. As you transition into more professional auditions, I would look at Elizabeth Cree, the Puts, and I would look at Cold Mountain. I would look at, actually, if you want to do Hegi, Sister Helen might be a good choice as well for you. This is fine for now, but you might find people going, well, hold on a second, can never cast you in that role. You're so young. Mm-hmm. So, but you sing it so well. So keep it there. I would agree that if he's a smart audience and you might know this, who can digest new music, just start with it. Some people do not want to hear new music to start, so don't start with it. But in any case that you can, go for it.
I have to interrupt. Sorry, I have to, and then I shut up forever and ever. But
no.
never sing in audition something that you cannot perform on stage at that particular time. That's a good advice that somebody gave me. You know, don't sing Filippo II arias. Is when they say, do you want to sing it? You say, no, I actually don't want to sing the role. So just choose carefully. That's it.
Thank you, Luca.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Just want to say one more thing.
Please.
So when you come to Europe to do auditions, even though you sing that piece brilliantly, and again, I don't know that piece at all, so thank you, Anna, for filling in the blanks there. But starting with something like that in Europe is not a good idea because they're not going to get it over here. So you have to find its standard repertoire equivalent, and Orfeo is a brilliant suggestion for that because they're all going to get it.
That's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Kayla, thank you so much. Your voice is just rich and creamy and velvety, and I just want to listen to it all day long. Thank you. Kayla is also one of our young artists for Fort Worth Opera, and now Dallas, right? Over in Dallas, you're doing education outreach, or I can't remember what you're doing over there.
Last year, I don't know what's happening this year yet.
That's right. That's right. Kayla's our Texas girl. We love her. Thank you, sweetie. I am absolutely speechless. Kathy, Carrie-Ann, Anna, and Luca, you guys have given so much this afternoon to these 12 amazing young talents, and I am so grateful to all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, because really this was spectacular. I learned so much, but also I know the singers learned an immense amount, and I know that everyone here in Zoom has learned an immense amount as well. I just love everything you had to say, and I appreciate you all so much for giving of your time And I know it's late in Zurich and in Austria, and Luca and Carrie-Ann, thank you so much for being here past your bedtime. We appreciate you so much. I mean, really, this was absolutely spectacular. And someone said in the chat, can we just stay here all afternoon? I really wish we could hear more amazing singers and have you all give your expertise, because you really are amazing, and really the reason I wanted to have the four of you together today, because it really was incredibly special. So thank you. Thank you to our amazing 12 singers today. Holy crap. Can I say that? Holy crap. That was some amazing singing. If I had to sit behind an audition table and give jobs to like 3 of you, I would never be able to choose those 3 people. So thank you guys for being just amazing and giving of yourselves and your talent. Thank you, Fort Worth Opera, for putting this together, this series, and these making these audition panels possible. It's so great to see my brainchild on the computer every week. So it makes me happy. But I just thank you so much. And for continuing to make this free for the singers and for everyone who's watching, thank you. And don't forget, guys, please donate. If you have the means and are able to, please donate. Opera in America really needs you right now. We want to come back after COVID is over. So we appreciate all of you so much. Let me give you your sneak peek for next week. Next week, we have the tenors with us next week. We have Russell Thomas with us, and we have Brian Jade with us. So it's gonna be battling tenors, and we've got lots of tenors on the class too, which makes me so happy in my heart. I saw one of him up there, Johnny Kaufman's up there. He's gonna sing for us next week too. We also have the wonderful Alex Fletcher of Fletcher Artist Management, and we also have the amazing Jim Barbado of Palm Beach Opera, and also Opera America, he has some really wonderful insight to this whole medium of the auditioning online that he's going to share with us next week in the panel. So we are very excited for our panel next week, our last panel, but it's going to be amazing. Thank you all so much for an incredible afternoon. I pass the mic over to you, Ryan, to close us out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Carrie-Ann, Luca, Anna, Kathy. Mind blown, mind blown.
Right?
Oh my God, having you here was just so wonderful. And you've gotten my heart just smiling from ear to ear, and I don't even know what that means, but like, thank you. Thank you for spending part of your weekend here with us and bringing your brilliance and your warmth and your encouragement and your spot on advice with all of these fabulous singers. And speaking of, bravi to our 12 amazing singers today. Jen, much love to you. I'm sending it through the screen. I hope you feel it. Congrats on another really terrific audition session. Thank you to everyone out there in Zoom land and everyone who watched us on Facebook Live today. I'm so glad it worked. Yay!
Yay, Facebook Live.
Simple joys in life.
Simple joys.
Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. And
thanks everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.